Believe in Bigfoot? Dogman? Any cryptid? Are you skeptical?
Curious about the supernatural, conspiracy theories, the unknown? Then come join us as we explore facts, tall tales, and encounters on Creatures and Curiosities.
Hello and welcome to Creatures and Curiosities. I'm David.
And I'm Jake.
And in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about some of the scariest places on Earth. Some of the places that we're going to talk about would be scary places to visit, but not necessarily like ghostly or haunted. And then we're going to get into some of the most haunted places
I like
in the
it.
world. Now, this was going to be our Halloween episode, but clearly it's 5 days after Halloween.
Yeah.
So we're running a little bit late when it comes to that, but nonetheless, it's dedicated to the Halloween weekend. And speaking of Halloween, I did see the pictures. Thor's dragon costume was awesome.
It was great, yeah.
And Thea was quite the little princess.
Yeah, she was the princess.
But what I didn't see was what were you and what was Jack?
So we didn't dress him up because it was super cold and he was sleeping, so we just let him sleep with our friend's grandparents. But Jenny was a dragon as well, and then I was the knight.
Oh.
So I was slaying the dragon and saving the little princess.
Awesome. I love it.
I mean, not that she'd let me because her and her brother are best friends, so
yeah,
she's hanging out with the dragon and the knight has to sit in the corner by himself.
I just went as an old, worn-out man.
There you go. You know, the best part about Halloween is it's kind of the same as being a little kid with less work, though.
Right.
Because I watch my kids go up to the door. They do the thing, and then when they come back, I still get to reap the benefits.
Yeah, you pick
the dad
the candy
tax.
that
Yeah,
you like, right?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'll take the Reese's peanut butter cup, and you're on your way, buddy.
Yeah, well, it was a pretty good Halloween weekend. Didn't see any dramatic stuff in the news.
Yeah.
Remember when we were growing up, people used to put razor blades in apples and
Oh, yeah.
poison and X-Lax.
Neighborhood animals were going missing for satanic rituals.
So I don't know. For some reason, it's gotten a little safer when it comes to handing out candy.
Or maybe it's because we're up in Montana now and they just don't do that up here.
You know what? That's what it is.
That's what it is, probably.
Think about that.
They're probably still doing it back there in Cali, but
it's probably worse.
Exactly.
Everything's probably laced with fentanyl and stuff. All right. Well, let's get into the program. The first things that we're going to talk about would be like if you were to go visit someplace, if you were just to try and find some of the creepiest places on Earth, not something that's haunted, not something that's going to be
paranormal or anything. Yeah.
Supernatural in nature. These are just going to be like creepy places that would just give you the willies to be there.
Yeah.
And the first one on the list, we should have probably gone in opposite order, but the first one on the list is the Aokigahara Forest, which is located at the northwestern flank of Mount Fuji on the island of Honshu in Japan. This particular area is also known as the Sea of Trees. Now, one of the cool things about the area is on the western edge of it, there's several caves that fill with ice in the winter, and it makes these like beautiful formations and like almost like sculptures, and colors and stuff of the ice are beautiful.
Yeah.
So it makes it a popular destination for tourists, local school trips, things of that nature. Parts of this forest are very dense, and the porous lava rock absorbs sound, which makes it gives you this sense of complete solitude.
Starting off, it sounds like a great place.
So yeah, it sounds like a great place. Now, one thing when I was looking into it is if you take a compass into the forest, it goes crazy. It'll go haywire. And they attribute that to the fact that the lava rock contains so much iron in it that
it just throws it off.
It throws off the magnetic field.
Yeah.
And so the closer you put your compass to the lava, it just starts spinning in circles. And in fact, it'll actually point usually the dead opposite of true north. So if you were to get into the forest, lose your way, and you're trying to use a compass, it may or may not be telling you the right direction to go. Now, they do say that if you stand up and hold the compass at normal height, it should work properly, that the magnetic field of the lava isn't strong enough to go up that high. But I don't know, man, if you were lost and you're relying on a compass to get you out of there, knowing that the needle might go haywire on you.
It should work and will work are drastically different.
Two different things. Well, the scariest part about this area, and the reason why we're listing it as one of the creepiest places on Earth, is it has a reputation for being home to the Uris. You remember we talked about that in the Teka Teka episode and the
Kuchisaki
Onna episode. And the Yuri were those ghosts of dead Japanese people, and they usually came back in some form to take retribution. They either died by like suicide or some horrible death.
Yeah, it's not a good reason they're coming back.
Yeah, it's not a good reason they're coming back. They come back kind of in the form of vengeance. And this particular forest, a lot of the people believe that it is haunted by these vengeful ghosts. And what they end up doing is they will like lure you in to the forest area. And then because of the extreme solitude that you feel, I guess people start getting in touch with their depression or whatever. And the next thing you know, they're committing suicide.
Yeah.
So since the 1960s, this particular area eventually became known as Suicide Forest because of its reputations as being one of the world's most used suicide sites.
Which is a crazy thought.
It really is crazy
when
you think about it. Because when we get into this for just a minute, it's uncanny. I mean, you think about places like the Colorado Street Bridge in Los Angeles, or it's over like in Pasadena area. A lot of suicides. A lot of people jumped off that bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge, that was another one. A lot of people jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. But we're talking about a couple of people per year or whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even look up like the stats on the Golden Gate Bridge. I just know that there's been a lot of suicides on that bridge, but it
doesn't hold a candle to this. It
does not hold a candle to this, because just in 2003 alone, 105, if you can even imagine, 105 bodies were found in the forest, which exceeded the previous record of 78 bodies found in the forest in 2002. So if you think about it, that's 183 people in 2 years.
Yeah.
That strolled into the forest to off themselves.
It's insane.
That, to me, that's ridiculously insane. In 2010, the police there recorded 54 confirmed suicides out of more than 200 additional attempts. Suicides are said to increase during March, the end of the fiscal year. That's what tax season rolling around.
Yep.
I don't know what the taxes are in Japan, but I mean, that'd be a perfect time to off yourself
here.
Here
apparently
in the US.
Apparently they're pretty bad. So
it can't be as bad as Norway and stuff where they're 55%.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
But in 2011, the most common means of suicide in the forest was hanging or drug overdose. So people walk into the forest, they get into that feeling of serenity and solitude. They throw a rope over a branch and they hang themselves.
It's insane.
It's unbelievable is what it is. Local officials have stopped publicizing numbers. So when you try and look them up, they don't even want to put the number out there anymore, trying to decrease the association with suicide so that people stop going there to kill themselves.
Well, can you imagine being a patrol officer in the area?
Oh, yeah.
Every rotation you have, every weekly rotation, you're going out and finding somebody.
Yeah.
You're getting a call about somebody going out.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Imagine, I try and put myself in that position. For all the years and stuff that I did work patrol, you do come across suicides.
Right.
And I had several out in the forest areas. I've had them at rest stops and in homes and whatnot. But imagine driving through some place like this forest where it's likely that you're going to come across one or more dead bodies.
Yeah.
People hanging from trees out there and stuff.
And there's something about it that makes it
morbid as it gets.
There's something about it that makes it worse because, let's just say it like it is, a truck stop. It's dirty. There's usually lot lizards running around and people are selling drugs, and it's just not a great place, right? Probably trash on the ground, especially in California.
Oh, yeah.
But you're driving through a beautiful forest that they call the Sea of Trees.
Yeah.
Where they have the sound is muffled, so it's quiet and peaceful. And oh, nope, there's a guy hanging.
Oh, there.
I can't imagine.
No, I can't either. Especially if there's more than one.
Yeah, just a few of them.
You'd be so traumatized, you'd never go back into a forest. And wasn't there, I think we were talking about it just before we came on, wasn't there a movie called The Forest or something?
Exactly, yeah. I couldn't remember the name until you said it, but I'm pretty sure that was the name of it.
Yeah, and I didn't confirm that by any means, but
I can't remember if it was the gal's twin sister.
The sister went into the forest and never returned. So she made it her mission to go find her.
Yeah.
But all she found was was it a ghost of the sister or was it the real sister? That's what I
can't remember. But I thought it was a little paranormal type of a movie. So maybe it was the ghost. But
yeah. And I think it's based on this forest,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the rate of suicide has led officials to place a sign at the entry of the forest telling suicidal visitors to please seek help and not take their own life, to get tired of cutting bodies down out of the trees.
Oh, absolutely.
Annual body searches have been conducted by the police, volunteers, and journalists since 1970. So they literally just go into the forest
just to see
reclamation of dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, can you imagine just being a tourist or whatever and taking like your little kid to the area who can't read? Hey, Dad, what's the sign say? Yeah, it's just telling you not to off yourself. How do you word it to him without lying to him?
Right.
You try to brush off. Hey, don't worry about it, buddy.
Yeah.
Or do they have like a silhouette of someone hanging with the big red circle in the line?
Right.
Like,
you got to have an international sign.
Yeah. So, hey, please don't do this.
Yeah. So as you take your kid through the forest, you got to warn them.
Yeah.
Stay away from the swingers.
That's brutal.
Jeez. So just as a side note, I think it was in 2017, some YouTube guy by the name of Logan Paul, he uploads a video in which he and several of his companions went to the forest in order to document and just kind of explore the forest's, creepy qualities. And while filming, they actually come across these discarded sleeping bags and clothing, campsites that clearly nobody was even there.
Yeah.
And then unexpectedly, they end up coming up on the body of a suicide victim. And he's filming it. Of course, they digitize the face and whatnot because he posted it on YouTube, which he got a lot of flack for that and had to come out and make a public apology. But I mean, how ridiculous is that you go out to that forest with the intention of filming creepy stuff, and then you do come across a dead body hanging from the tree. That's ridiculously
It shows you how
crazy.
bad it really is.
Yeah. And so for whatever reason, whether this is a spiritual thing, now this is in our little section of just creepy places to visit.
Yeah.
Wasn't supposed to be supernatural or demonic or whatnot, but could it be?
It makes you wonder.
Yeah. I just wonder if these Yuri ghosts are actually out there luring people to their death. And are they suicides or are they being hung by the ghosts? Who knows?
Who knows?
We're going to have to, I don't know that I'm going to make it to Japan anytime soon, but that would be kind of a cool place to visit.
Yeah.
But you got to wonder, if you visit, are you going to leave?
Yeah.
Or are you going to walk in there and all of a sudden be overcome with
Andy,
feelings of suicide?
Yeah. And you have to have that little bit of thought of, well, there's a really, really good chance that I see someone hanging.
Yeah.
Do you still do it?
What do you do?
Yeah.
And do you report it, or is it just part of the visual appeal of going to the forest?
Yeah, like bad Christmas lights.
Oh, that's just terrible. But anyway, that's got to be the creepiest place on earth.
Yeah.
The Aokigahara Forest. Just stay out of there.
Yeah, don't do it.
The likelihood is you're going to be banging into people's legs and stuff that are hanging from trees, or even the ground being scattered with people that overdosed on drugs or shot themselves or whatever. To me, it's probably just a place you stay away from.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want solitude, go to Yosemite or Yellowstone or something where there aren't people hanging from the trees.
Yeah. Glacier's beautiful. Go up there.
Glacier's beautiful. Yeah, you might get attacked by a grizzly. But,
it's fine.
But at least the grizzly eats you.
Just stay in your car.
Not many remains. Okay, moving on to the next one. Let's do, now this one's the one that creeps me out the most. I know that in another episode I did talk about when I was a kid, the things that bothered me the most was a woman that talks in a male voice. Yeah. And dolls. I hate dolls.
Yeah.
The trilogy of terror. Chucky never bothered me because he was a little creepy kid, you know?
Yeah, that one always threw me off because I know that he's supernatural and all that stuff, but you got to just punt him.
Yeah.
Just kick him.
That's just it.
And even if he is strong, he's not outrunning me.
No.
There's no way those little feet would be fast enough.
No. And you know what? He's always got that little knife, like a little kitchen knife or something. I would think he could just kick Chucky in the face and call it a day. But I always hated dolls that come to life.
Yeah.
And it didn't even matter what it is. It could be like in Poltergeist, the little clown that was in the chair.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's gone and it's under the bed. There's Annabelle, of course. There's just a myriad of horror movies that a doll comes to life. And those always gave me the chills. I hated it.
Yeah.
So keeping that in mind, this is a place I would not want to go. It's called the Island of Haunted Dolls. Many years ago, there was a horrific accident, and it transformed this beautiful floating garden of Mexico's Isla de los Muñecas into the stuff of ghastly nightmares. So according to the local legend, a little girl had drowned in the Xochimilco canals just outside of Mexico City. And after her death, for some reason, these little dolls began washing up on the shore of a small island in the canal where she died. Now, this guy, Don Julian Santana Barrera, who was the island's caretaker, was kind of distraught over the fact that he was unable to save this little girl's life.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And so he began to hang dolls from the island trees in her memory. And so what started out as like a memorial to this little girl, well, over the years, these trees filled up with these mangled, which I can just...
That's all I could picture,
I can picture them, the kind of like in Toy Story and stuff, where the doll with the one eye and the crack
they're all
in its
pieced
head.
together like Frankenstein.
Yes,
yeah.
And they're terrifying.
Well, the second you said that he was doing that, I never pictured it in a cute way.
No.
I immediately pictured him hanging them by the neck and they're partly charred and burnt and eyes and eyelashes missing.
Exactly. And that's what it is. So they're like these mutilated limbs, severed heads and stuff, and they're out there rotting in these trees. And the locals there say that the dolls are possessed with the dead girl's spirit. And
which they clearly are.
They have to be.
They have to be.
You know that they are. And witnesses claim that they actually hear these dolls whispering to each other and luring people into the island.
Which they probably do.
They do, and that's why I'm never going there.
Yeah, no,
I
pass
don't
on
like
this
dolls.
one.
But could you imagine? I mean, okay, so you're in the Aoki-Gahara forest, and you got dead bodies hanging from the trees. That's horrifying.
Horrifying,
enough.
yep.
But so you leave Japan, you go to Mexico, you end up in this community where now you got these dolls, these mutilated, horrifying looking, molded, plastic, crappy looking things with missing limbs and
strands of hair hanging out.
Yeah, just the strands of hair hanging out, hanging and swaying from the trees while they're whispering to each other.
And I picture it too, that if you're looking at a group of them, the whispers always come from where you're not looking.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And those, the one eye, canting and looking over towards another doll as their little heads are turning and stuff. To me, that is what nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
I would rather run through the Japanese forest banging into dead bodies and having them kicking me in the head and stuff than even remotely be anywhere near this island of dolls.
Yeah. Because even if a slight breeze comes through and they start swaying.
Oh, yeah. And clanking.
Yeah.
It's just little porcelain heads or whatnot clanging against each other. No, I couldn't do this. But over the years, these trees have now filled up with these mangled remains of dolls. And it's just, the thought of it makes me sick. 50 years later, though, after collecting these dolls and hanging them across the island, Barrera himself actually drowned in the exact same spot where the little girl had died decades earlier.
Well, because he was murdered by the demon ghosts that are hanging around.
There is absolutely no doubt in my mind. These little dolls, they probably can get down out of the trees. They run around with little spears or whatever. And they murdered this guy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. Since his death in 2001, the island has seen hundreds of visitors. People go there just to see these dolls. I'm staying away.
Yeah.
I will not.
I'll look at pictures online. That's as close as I'm getting.
I looked at them and they're horrifying. Some of these visitors even bring their own dolls to add to this haunting collection. How sick are people?
Yeah, just adding demons to the pile.
Demons to
That's
the
literally
pile.
What they're doing.
Yes, it gives the disembodied spirits something to live in.
Yeah.
And then they're up there chattering and whispering,
plotting the deaths of people walking by.
Yeah. So anyway, those are two places I don't think I would want to go.
No.
It's just it's too much for me.
Yeah, because it's not to me, and people will probably think the opposite, but to me, there's nothing fun about that.
No.
It's not like going to Wisconsin and trying to find the dog man.
No.
Even though some people would say that's way more horrifying than a couple dolls hanging.
Yeah.
To me, this is worse.
This is way worse.
This and the dead bodies.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, this is something right out of my nightmares.
Yeah.
Dog man it'd probably be a little scary if you actually came across it, but I don't want to see those dolls.
No.
So if you want to take the next one on this mysterious lake.
Yeah. In 1942, a forest ranger was hiking near India's Rupkund Lake up in the Himalayas and stumbled across a startling discovery. It was a glacier lake that was surrounded by human skeletons.
Which that's why would it even be there?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
When summer came and the ice melted, hundreds more skeletons were revealed. Some with flesh and hair still attached.
Kind of like the doll with the
It's kind of like the doll, but it's even worse because it's a real person.
Yeah, exactly.
So who or what had killed so many people, turning a remote high-altitude lake into a mass grave?
Yeah. Well, you got to wonder, why are there so many people dead at a lake?
And I get that it's cold and there's ice, so that preserves bodies and all that stuff. But when it got warm, why are the ones with hair and skin still? Why do they still have? How long have they been there?
Yeah.
Because you would think if they've been there a long time, that over time, even though
they've decomposed,
it was still decomposed in the warmer months.
You'd think so.
Anthropologists speculated on how Skeleton Lake came to be, with their theories ranging from epidemics to landslides to ritual suicides.
Which would kind of make sense. Quake Lake here in Montana. Remember when the massive earthquake hit and the mudslides covered all those people and killed, I can't remember how many. Do you remember? Was it like 78 people?
It was a lot though, yeah.
A lot of people died because they didn't get out of the campsites and they were up there camping, and then the mudslides came down, and we're talking about tons and tons and tons of mud and rubble and stuff, and it just engulfed all the people and killed them up there. So natural disasters and stuff can happen. There's no doubt.
A 2004 expedition offered up more clues. The skeletons were the remains of 200 to 300 people dating back all the way to the 9th century, and they were divided into two distinct groups, a closely related family, or a tribe, and a smaller group of locals. Now, they were found with rings, spears, leather shoes, bamboo sticks. Short, deep cracks in the skull suggested all the bodies appeared to have died in the same way, from blows to the head from rounded objects, not the weapons, which could potentially lead credibility to a mudslide of some kind.
Right.
Getting hit in the head with rocks and whatever heavy things coming down.
200 to 300 people, though. That's
a lot. That's a lot. Scientists concluded that all 200 to 300 people died from a hailstorm of biblical proportions, that alone is crazy.
That's horrifying, because that still happens today. I mean, like in Texas, every year they end up getting some hailstorm with baseball-size stuff smashing through homes and vehicles and all kinds of stuff.
Millions of dollars of property damage.
Yeah.
And thousands of softball-sized hailstones pounded their heads and shoulders while they were traveling through the area. Trapped in the valley with nowhere to hide, the entire group perished in a mass death. So it's literally just Bad luck.
Yeah.
Going through, traveling along, hit this valley, nowhere to go, nowhere to hide.
No cover.
Because that's your first thought reading it, right? Like, why wouldn't you just take cover in some form or fashion? Because you just can't.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
It's be like being out on a plane. Yeah.
If you go during the summer months, you could still see the skeletons at the lake's bottom.
Well, that's probably something I wouldn't want to go do.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like the people that go and climb Mount Everest, where you're walking the trail up to the summits and you're literally walking by frozen dead bodies.
And some of the things I've seen on Everest, they use those as landmarks.
Right. Yeah.
You're at Yellow Jacket or whatever.
Camp by them and everything else. It's like, my God. the morbidness of people is unbelievable.
Brazil's Ilha de Queimada Grande, located about 20 miles off the state of Sao Paulo, is swarming with venomous snakes and is therefore off limits to visitors, which that's an easy one.
Yeah, so this one you can't even go.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, so this isn't one that you would go to because you can't.
Right.
But it's still a creepy place.
Yes.
So we listed it.
What blows me away, and obviously I can't remember if it's in here or not, but I'm sure there's still people who would try to go to it.
Oh, of course.
Because that's just what people do.
They take their boats over there and then they end up dead.
Yeah. Can't wake up dead. Snake Island, as it's called, is home to an estimated 4,000 venomous bothrops insularis, also known as golden lanceheads, which is an endangered species that got trapped on the island when rising sea levels covered up the land that connected it to the mainland. The Brazilian Navy closed the island in the 1920s to protect the snakes from humans and to protect the humans from the deadly snakes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. The golden lanceheads grew to about 2 feet long and possess a fast-acting poison that melts human flesh. Which, again, why would you go? Just leave it alone.
Exactly.
According to some estimates, there's one snake in every square yard of the island. So you literally can't move anywhere.
No. One step, boom.
You're done.
You get hit.
And it's fast acting, skin's gone.
Skin's gone.
All I could think of is it the first Indiana Jones where they open up the Ark of the Covenant and the guy's face melts off, and that's what's going to happen to you if you go to the Island of Snakes or Snake Island. The venom is known to cause kidney failure, necrosis of muscular tissue, brain hemorrhaging, and intestinal bleeding.
So
just adding on to the skin melting.
Right. So as your skin is literally coming off, you're also bleeding out the butt, you're bleeding on the brain, you've got necrosis and kidney failure. Which
I'm sure is extremely painful.
I'm sure
I'm sure it doesn't feel good.
No, and you can't even run off the island because every step you take, you're getting bit again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a place to stay away from. Not to mention the fact that if you tried to go there, you'd probably be arrested.
Yeah. Can you imagine making it through that and your legs melted off, but you still get arrested for trespassing?
Oh, that's terrible.
A religious and tourist destination, India's Karni Mata Temple is a site of both reverence and revulsion because the famous Hindu temple is crawling with thousands of rodents.
So there's a place you can't wait to visit.
Yeah, exactly. I get irritated if one little field mouse makes it in my garage.
Oh, I know.
I couldn't imagine going to a place
thousands of
when they say rodents, I assume it's not just like a cute little field mouse either. I'm assuming it's
they're big rats,
big 3-foot rat.
You know that they are.
And then what is it that they turn into? What do they call that? The Rat King. Have you seen those pictures?
No.
So a Rat King essentially is when a bunch of rats live together. Because they're always jumping over each other. Well, eventually, and I don't remember what starts to happen, but they essentially start to meld together.
Oh.
So it's just one big clump of rats moving, and they can't break away from each other
until
they eventually slowly start to die off. So they probably have a bunch of those running around too.
Yeah. Well, I remember years ago, we went to Disney World in Florida.
Yeah.
And, Florida's home to gators and lizards and rats and cockroaches the size of VWs. So we're sitting at this bus stop waiting for these trams to come take you to the different kingdoms, of Disney. And as we're sitting, I got rats running around my feet, literally. And we're at the Disneyland Hotel. This is a nice 5-star place that costs $5 million a night. And we had these rats running around. So I can't imagine wanting to go someplace where you have
thousands of them.
thousands of rats, not one or two running around, but thousands.
You couldn't even walk.
But people love going here, and they consider it a religious experience, from what I understand.
Yeah.
They're one with the rat. I don't get it, but anyway.
The Temple of Rats houses some 20,000 black rats that are free to roam the place of worship.
20,000 rats. What are you, Willard?
Yeah, come
on. That's crazy.
According to local legend, when the stepson of Hindu deity Karni Mata drowned in a pond, Karni Mata asked the death god Yama to revive him. Yama eventually relented, but only under the condition that the stepson and all of his kind be reincarnated as rats.
There you go. So Carney's running around with his gang.
Known as, quote, little children, end quote, by worshippers and temple caretakers, the rats are fed milk, grains, coconut shells, and specially prepared sweets by temple caretakers and worshippers. Well, if you're not going to get rid of them by doing that.
No, you're not.
So they want them there on top of that.
Yeah.
Because food that the rats have nibbled on is said to bring good fortune, some people even partake on the leftovers.
Oh, so they're eating the scraps of the rats.
Which have to be covered in poop and urine.
You've got to, you're insane if you're taking an offering from the leftover of rats.
Can you imagine the smell of it?
I can't. The whole concept behind that is too much.
Yeah.
It's just too much. And they consider it a religious experience and look forward to eating the leftovers of what the rats don't want.
The rats have not only discarded, but have urinated on and defecated on.
Walked over it, left all their disease on it and everything else. And then you can't wait to munch it down as a religious
Sounds
experience.
Great. See, the Island of Dolls is not sounding too bad anymore.
That's terrible, but it's true. I think I'd rather run through the Island of Dolls than have to wait through all these rats running around. So those are just some creepy, horrifying places to go. Now, the one that you can't visit, obviously, is the flesh-melting Snake Island.
Yeah.
You can't go there, but you can go to all these other places and experience these sick, creepy things for yourself. Now we're going to move into more of the like Halloween
haunted-esque
haunting type places. And I know that everybody's going to have a different opinion of what's scarier throughout the world because there's so many haunted places. I mean, just in Montana alone, there's the ghost towns, there's haunted buildings.
Yeah.
Every single city, every single state, somebody's got a haunted place to go. We just picked a few here to capitalize on. So I know somebody's going to end up saying, that's not even as scary as...
What about this place and that place?
Yeah,
there's hundreds and thousands.
There's hundreds of thousands. And I didn't even list some. Well, you couldn't, right? Because there's thousands and thousands of them. We'd be here for years just trying to go over all of them. But like the Winchester House up in San Jose, California, they always claim that place is haunted. Well, I couldn't wait to go there when I was a kid. So disappointed. It's like, this was back in like the 70s or something, $30, I think it was, a ticket or something to go in there. And then you walk around. Number one, there was nothing haunting about the place. She was a freak. She didn't want her picture taken. She thought that the ghosts of everyone killed by the bullets made by her husband, Winchester, were haunting the place. And so we're talking, thousands and thousands and thousands of souls, right, that had been murdered by either a Winchester weapon or an ammunition round.
Yeah.
And so she was obsessed with like the number 13 and whatnot. And she had to build. She had to keep building on the house because as long as she was building, she was going to be safe. She had immortality or whatnot. So there's like stairways leading up to a wall. There's a door that you open and it's just a brick wall behind it. There's no room. It was just a bunch of crap like that. There's 13 pianos and there's 13 candelabras and there's X amount of things. And I'm like, where's the ghosts? As a kid, I was like, this isn't a haunted house. This is just an insane woman that
has too much money to know what to do.
Too much money and didn't know what to do. And there was one known photograph of her or something in a carriage that they have in the building. And you still, so grainy, you can't even see what she looked like. And I thought, okay, this is not, this is not a haunted house. So the ones we're going to talk about are kind of like verified haunted places where people have tons of stories about bad things that have happened there, apparitions that show up, sounds and things. And so the first one, and one of the most scary places supposedly in the world, is the Eastern State Penitentiary. It was built back in 1829 with these big castle-like walls and massive guard towers, because obviously it was a prison. It's in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it was the first prison in the U.S. to institute solitary confinement. Prisoners lived alone, they ate alone, they exercised alone in individual yards. They couldn't even be together. And anytime an inmate left his cell, a guard actually covered his head with a hood so that he was in confinement and still couldn't see the guards or the people or other inmates or anything as they were being walked down the aisles. So if you think about that, that drives you nuts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to have literally no contact. Solitary confinement used to be used as like a torturous thing, 30 days in the hole or whatnot, but eventually you get to come back out.
Yeah.
But these people were in solitary confinement their entire sentence.
Well, it's just like that show, Alone. You watch that show?
Oh, yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah.
But I've seen somewhere, the whole point is you're out there completely by yourself. You got to survive. It's a good show. But some of these guys are expert survivalists, and they go in with this positive attitude, and they're ready to take on the day, and they go out there, and they actually start doing pretty good. And then the solitude gets to them.
Yep, they crack.
And they're like, I can't, got to be around somebody.
Oh, yeah.
I got to see
they're sobbing out there that they miss their family and stuff.
Meanwhile, they have this nice cabin they've built. They got some fish procured.
Yeah.
They have fire going. They're ready. They're like, can't do it. Can't do it. It's too much.
Yeah.
So that is even more hardcore.
Yeah, this is extremely hardcore. Yeah. And then, of course, this system was banished basically due to overcrowding. As time went on and more criminals were being incarcerated, they didn't have the room to keep people in solitary confinement. But it's widely believed that this did cause mental illness amongst the prisoners. And so you had cases of suicide going on in there. People couldn't take it anymore.
Rather die than be alone.
Rather die than to have no contact with anything on the outside world. I mean, even you say the outside world, even internally in the prison, no contact even with another inmate. And so these people would off themselves. Well, this place is pretty popular because it actually housed Al Capone and Willie Sutton, the famous bank robber back in the day. But this prison was abandoned in 1971. And rumors of strange happenings have plagued this penitentiary ever since. Visitors that now can go, it's open, for the public to be able to go in and check it out. Visitors that go to this prison report footsteps in the yards, sounds of someone pacing in the cells, eerie noises, lonely wails that drift through the corridors. And then cell block 12 is the most famous area within the prison for disembodied laughter. They can just hear people laughing, chains rattling, doors clanging, things of that nature. And on one of the guard towers, sometimes they'll see this shadowy apparition in the guard tower, keeping watch over the empty prison. And there's been hundreds of reports of that being seen by multiple different people, different years, not people that know each other that want to keep a legend alive.
Right.
But people that have gone and visited and said, oh my God, I just saw somebody in the watchtower. That takes me back to my story in another podcast when we went to Bannock and I saw that person staring at me through the window.
Upstairs, yeah.
Yes, and there was clearly nobody up there and no way you could get in. And so I don't know what these entities are. Demons, ghosts, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not one that believes in ghosts, but when it's reported by hundreds of people and these apparitions are seen all the time in this particular facility,
there's something to that.
You gotta wonder, what is it? That's
ghost or demon.
Happening?
There's something there.
There's something there. So that penitentiary is one of the most haunted places on earth. There is another, which we're going to get to, and that's Alcatraz, which it's funny that these prisons, well, it's usually mental institutions, old hospitals that used to do lobotomies, and prison facilities all seem to be haunted.
To me, it's no coincidence that where bad things take place is where these things are occurring.
Right.
You know, it's not a old church. It's
right. Yeah.
It's a place where bad things would happen or bad people would go. And I believe obviously everybody can repent, but if you're not doing that, then there's still evil with you.
Yeah. And then you hang yourself in your cell because you were demon possessed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to wonder, does the demon hang around and waiting for the next body to possess, or is that actually the ghost of the person that comes back because he was supposed to go to hell and now he's a disembodied spirit? I don't know.
Or you're the doctor performing the lobotomy.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how you want to look at it for science, that's an evil thing to do.
Yeah, like in the case of the melon heads.
Yeah, you're shoving ice picks in people's faces and picking away at their brain.
Yeah, it's terrible. All right, next one we're going to move on to is the Amityville house. And of course, everybody knows the Amityville horror movie.
Love it.
That was a good movie.
I love the remake better.
No, the remake was
it's my favorite one.
10 times more terrifying than the original.
Which I rarely can say that, but in this case it was.
Yeah. I think it was James Brolin or something was in the original. Right?
Yeah.
And they did a good job.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as horrifying as the second remake. But the real life Amityville house is located at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. It was actually the site of a brutal murder. 23-year-old Ronald DeFeo Jr. shot and killed his parents and 4 of his younger siblings on November 14th of 1974. So you already had this horrific event happen in the house. So just like you were just saying, something really bad happened there.
Yeah.
And so did evil remain? Or is this all a hoax? George and Kathy Lutz and their 4 children knew about the event that took place and yet still agreed to, check out the property with the realtor. And so they went in. This is this 4,000 square foot home, waterfront access, a nice boathouse, heated swimming pool, full basement. I mean, what's not to like? Other than the fact that there was a gruesome, horrifying murder that took place.
But some people don't believe in good and evil.
Right.
Or you just don't think that, hey, even if you say, oh, that's something bad that happened here, but it's nothing we have to worry about.
Exactly. And a lot of people don't. They just dismiss that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know that I would not buy something because something bad had happened there, but it would certainly be in the back of your head.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, you'd always be thinking about like the Lizzie Borden house and stuff. People love to go to I think it's a bed and breakfast or something now. But why do you want to go someplace where some brutal murder had taken place?
But if you're a family man with wife and kids and you got a dream home on sale because no one wants to buy it, how do you pass it up?
With a boathouse and water access.
Oh, sounds like the dream.
I'm in.
Yeah.
So Kathy goes into the house. George obviously sees that, she's smitten by the place, and he just knows this is it, man.
That's right what I'm saying.
This is our dream house. So they end up buying the place, and after they move in, things start kind of happening around there. So they end up having a priest come in, which is actually even in the movie.
Yes.
He comes in to bless it, and he goes in the room, and all the flies are in there.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a horrifying scene. But the priest comes in, and he blesses the whole place, but it didn't take, apparently. Something didn't work as far as maybe he was not a good priest.
Yeah.
Or maybe there was not an earnest prayer said over the home. But they begin experiencing strange things. They hear banging noises and footsteps in the house, this odor that would constantly fill the air. Green jello-like substance leaking from the walls, which, that's enough to move out right there.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't care what anybody says, because even if it was natural, it was not a supernatural event, when you had green jello coming out of your walls,
I don't want my kids breathing in whatever's
there's
coming out.
something wrong. It's mold or toxins of some kind.
Exactly.
You know, I would move out
100%
based on that, but they didn't yet. Toilet water would always like turn black. They'd have swarms of house flies and eyes peering in from outside the windows. Now in the movie, it was on the inside of the house, peering out the top, those funky little windows up there that is associated with the Amityville house all the time. Wasn't it Jody? Jody was,
I think so, yes.
Was the friend of the daughter, but it was a big pig or something like that staring out the window, which is giving me chills right now because I hated that scene when he looks back at the house and sees those red eyes glowing. Kind of creepy. So even the family's behavior started to change. George got sick a lot. He'd go days without bathing. He started losing weight.
Well, he's probably got some kind of mold poisoning or something from
right from the green jello.
Yeah, exactly.
That they just dismissed instead of
maybe he pulled the whole Eddie and was like, "It's lime."
It's lime. Oh, Kathy having nightmares continually. Children fighting with each other all the time, which to me that's normal.
Yeah.
But as things worsened, they decided to just kind of leave the house temporarily. They weren't going to give up on the place, but they were like, man, maybe we need a break from this. But the night in which they were to depart turned out actually to be their last night there. George was always reluctant to give the full details of what happened that particular night. And he was quoted as saying, the hardest thing for those people who experience a haunting is the loss of being able to communicate with anyone else about it. It's not talked about. It's not understood. And when it happens to you, you become an alien to everyone else.
Which he's pretty much saying what we say about anybody who sees a cryptid or a ghost or whatever.
As soon as you come out with it,
you're a nut.
You're a nut.
Yep.
And people don't even want to associate with you anymore because they think you're crazy.
They think you're a weirdo.
So aside from the fact that it turned into a great movie and a great remake, and a lot of the stuff that he said happened were recounted in the movie. Do you remember they'd hear the marching band and stuff at night?
Oh, yeah.
You'd always hear the music and wonder where it was coming from. And then they have like a statue of like a ceramic dragon, and it bit him one night or something on the leg, and he didn't know what it was. But all the creepy, weird things that happened were eventually related and were in the movie. Now, this guy by the name of Dr. Stephen Kaplan, he said that the entire account, everything that they said happened, was completely dismissed as just a fabrication by paranormal investigators, which we're going to get to who those people were a little bit later. And I know that everybody probably already knows who they are.
Exactly, yeah.
But he said that George's stories of the haunting were just too wide-ranging and stemmed from pre-existing obsession with the paranormal.
Which, there you go. I think that's just one of those ways of dismissing him.
It is.
And that's why he doesn't want to say anything.
It is, 100%. So this person was experiencing extremely traumatic events. Now, the Hollywood version of it, I think Brolin goes down into the basement, breaks the wall out, and basically reveals like a gateway to hell or something, right?
Something like that.
I don't even remember. I haven't seen it in years, but I know it was like a big fiery pit behind the wall. Or did he find the dead bodies or something? I can't remember.
See, I remember the newer one. Who was it? Ryan Reynolds. He pulled away some of the wall too. And he found like the torture room of the guy that used to live there.
Yeah.
Or some local reverend or whatever he was. So I don't remember how different that one was from the original.
Same basic premise there, where they go downstairs in the basement, smash the wall out, and reveal the reason that the place is haunted.
Yeah.
Anyway, all chalked up as never happened, and that the Lutz family were nuts. And
easiest way to put it, right?
And the investigators were just trying to make a big deal out of nothing. I'm not buying it.
No.
Something happened in that house. In fact, every time I see a house that's shaped like it with those little windows at the top, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, no.
There's no...
Not doing it.
There's no way I would ever have that, because if Jody was looking out while I was outside, I'd burn the place to the ground.
That's all you can do.
Simple as that. All right, you want to do the Edinburgh Castle?
Yeah. So Edinburgh Castle is one of Scotland's most haunted sites, and it's got about 900 years of history behind it. Since its construction as a military fortress in the early 12th century, the castle has witnessed surprise attacks, executions, and even a brief capture by the English. Now it's a tourist attraction. Edinburgh Castle offers haunted tours of its dungeons, which once hosted the likes of Duke Alexander Stewart of Albany, who escaped stabbing his guards to death and then burning their bodies, which...
Nice guy.
Yeah, sounds great. Lady Janet Douglas of Glamis, who was accused of witchcraft and burned at the stake, and an unnamed piper who once wandered down one of the castle's underground passages and never returned.
So it's got some gruesome history
to it. A little bit of history, yeah.
Yeah.
In 2001, Edinburgh Castle became the site of one of the largest paranormal investigations in history. A team of 9 researchers and over 200 members of the public explored the castle's forgotten chambers and secret passages for signs of ghostly happenings. That's a big search party.
That's a big search party. This is a pretty good-sized castle.
Yeah. The public was not told which areas of the castle were rumored to be haunted and which were not. 51% of participants in haunted areas reported paranormal experiences, while only 35% did so in the non-haunted areas.
It's kind of like when pharmaceutical companies and stuff give you a placebo to, 50% of the people get a placebo and 50% get the real drug.
Exactly.
To see what the effects are.
Yeah.
They did the same thing. They sent these people off into areas they knew were haunted and sent people off to areas that have never had any reported activity of hauntings to see, are they just going to be, because, like those ghost hunter stories.
Yeah.
They get themselves worked up, right?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
They go upstairs with their night vision, instead of just turning the lights on, they got the night vision, so everything's green, so it gives you the haunting experience of it. They'll have some electromagnetic field meter or something that's, registering something. And then, did you feel that? Did you hear that? It's getting cold in here. And they get themselves so worked up that they run out. Now, the question is, are they really feeling that? Or have they talked themselves into that hyper fear?
Yeah, exactly.
And in this particular case, they didn't want these people to do that. So they didn't tell them, you guys are going to the scariest place in the castle, and you guys are going to the safest place in the castle. They didn't let them know. And they still came back, and 51% of those people reported paranormal experience.
Which just goes to show you that it's haunted.
It's either haunted or just people are nuts.
Over half the people are crazy. Shadowy figures, sudden drops in temperature, and the feeling of something tugging on your clothes are all everyday experiences in Edinburgh. So the temperature change, if you went in as a skeptic, right? The temperature change you can write off. Hey, I get cold chills when it's 90 degrees outside.
Yeah. Well, and you're talking about a big stone castle here that
exactly.
With no insulation. Certain rooms might be colder than others, etc. That I get.
Shadowy figures, though, it's a little different.
Yeah. You got to ask, what is it?
You could say it's a trick of the light. You could say it's someone else moved and the light refracted weird and maybe you saw it different. Or it's a shadow figure.
Shadow figure.
But now
that tugged on your clothes.
Someone tugging on your clothes, that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other ball game.
Because you got to think, if you're in the middle of a room and something yanks on your clothes, you didn't just accidentally brush up against something.
Right.
That's horrifying.
It is horrifying.
That would be the thing that got me the most.
Well, yeah, and I'd be running out of there the second it happened.
Exactly.
As anybody normal would, right?
Why would you stay?
Why would you stay?
If it can physically touch you.
If you're feeling something touching you, get the hell out of there.
There's a difference, I think, in seeing something and going, yeah, I think I just saw something.
Yeah.
Maybe let's check it out. And there's a difference in something grabbing you and going,
Yeah.
Well, let's just keep on going.
Yeah, they say that's a pretty scary place.
So moving on, the Queen Mary, a former luxury ocean liner and warship nicknamed the Gray Ghost, was purchased by the city of Long Beach in 1967, transformed into a hotel, and became a popular tourist attraction. Among the ghosts reportedly still hanging around are a sailor who died in the ship's engine room, a lady in white, and children who drowned in the ship's pool.
Now, the only reason I put this one in here is because I know 2 people that went and stayed there.
Oh, really?
Yes. They both worked for me at the sheriff's department. and they came back. They were excited about staying there because they'd always heard it was haunted.
Yeah.
I don't even remember why they stayed there. I think we sent them on a business trip. And instead of staying at a regular hotel, they elected to stay there. But I think they were down there for a conference. When they came back, both of them told me they had terrifying experiences on the ship. One of them kept hearing noises in their room, like footsteps, knocks at their door. They'd get up, they'd open the door, nobody there, nobody down the hall. They kept feeling presence of somebody. And they were getting so scared that they had notified the other person who saw an apparition in the hallway. And I think it was like the lady in white. They said it was like a woman in a dress, but clearly ghostly.
Yeah.
And they said they couldn't sleep. They tried to go to sleep, but they kept hearing noises and moans and creaks and stuff. And they said it was so bothersome that they just wanted to get out.
I would have bailed.
Yeah.
I would have footed the bill and got a different hotel.
Yeah. So and I know these people.
Yeah.
And they're not crazy. And both of them experienced something that terrified them to the point that they said they wouldn't go back there.
In different spots. Without telling
rooms.
Each other.
Right. They were in
initially,
different rooms. Yeah. So I put that in there only so I could relate that story that I personally know people that went there that experienced ghosts.
I like it.
And noises.
I like it.
So
it's haunted.
It has to be.
There it is.
There's no doubt about it.
Moving on to the Whaley House. So even hardened government skeptics apparently couldn't refute the evidence that this home in San Diego's Old Town neighborhood harbors spirits. In the 1960s, the U.S. Commerce Department classified the Whaley House as haunted. Its earliest ghost was Yankee Jim Robinson, who was hanged on the site in 1852. When James Whaley built the house, which in the mid-19th century served as a granary, courthouse, and general store in 1857. He claimed to hear Robinson padding loudly through the halls. Whaley and his wife are also said to inhabit the house, announcing their presence with cigar smoke and perfume.
I know about the Whaley House only because of that right there. People that have been at the Whaley House say that you could be in there and all of a sudden you get this whiff of cigar smoke that just got lit up. And Mr. Whaley was famous for, his smoking and cigars. And then all of a sudden you'd get this little mist of perfume like she walked through, but that you can actually feel their presence as well as smell them.
See, that's creepy.
That is creepy.
How do you explain that?
And you literally have the U.S. Commerce Department classifying this place as being haunted. So who does that?
Exactly.
When a governmental agency actually comes in, investigates, and determines this place is supernatural, it's haunted, and it's terrifying. And then they have to put a sign outside letting you know that this place
is haunted,
is legitimately haunted. There has to be something.
That's too wild.
Yeah. The government's not going to stick their neck out and say, we're just playing in on.
Unless they were like, hey, we're getting 20% of all proceeds or something. Then I could see them doing it. You know?
If it boils down to money, then of course.
But if they're not getting anything in return for it just by them saying it, because you wouldn't want, if anything, they're going to dismiss those things.
Right.
Because you don't want to be made to look like you're crazy and you can't manage your area or whatever the case.
Yeah. And I've never been to the Whaley House. I've been to San Diego Old Town several times, but I've never checked that place out. Probably going to have to go in there next time I go.
Yeah. Visitors have also reported sightings of a lifelike young girl in a long dress lounging in the dining room.
So I wonder who she is.
When I hear lifelike, I think not apparition. It just looks like somebody sitting there.
Yeah. But they're not there.
Which is almost more creepy. Not even almost. It is more creepy than an apparition.
10 times.
Because your brain can comprehend that. You see like an apparition come and go away. You can go, oh, it was a ghost. But seeing somebody sit there and then knowing they're not there, like if right now you just were gone, I'd be like, what the hell?
Oh my God, the rapture. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know. That to me, it's too bizarre.
Yeah.
The whole Well, first off, if you're walking through the house and you catch a whiff of cigar smoke coming by you, to me, it's time to boogie.
Followed by perfume.
Yeah, you got to get out of there.
Yeah.
Because then there's clearly something going on.
And it can't be good.
No,
to me, it's not going to be something that's like, hey, we're here to give you the winning lottery numbers.
No, there's no good ghosts.
No.
Speaking of good ghosts, did you ever see 13 Ghosts, the movie?
Oh, I love that movie.
Did you see they're coming out with a series explaining what each ghost went through and how they came to be? Kind of like I was looking forward to, I haven't watched it yet, but Derry.
Yes.
The story.
We watched that trailer
Pennywise.
together. Yes.
Yes. So I can't wait to watch that. And then 13 Ghosts, the series of how all those ghosts came to be.
So are they going to do like each episode more or less is about one of the ghosts?
I haven't seen the trailer on it yet, but
holy moly.
That's I think what the intention is they're going to kind of outline the life of each ghost and why they ended up where they are and how they all got imprisoned in that house. And
yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be kind of cool. So moving on, I'm just going to touch really lightly on Alcatraz Island because similar to the other penitentiary, it's the same basic concept, right? You got people in there. There's inmate suicides. There were personnel murders, people that tried to escape, that drowned or were eaten by sharks or whatever the case.
Yeah.
Most people, I think, that jumped into the water probably died just from hypothermia.
It's not a short swim.
The bay is cold. It can be brutal water too. You know, the tides, how they come in and out, the wind, the fog, the cold. Nothing has ever really been documented on 100% that anybody escaped it. There's the two people they think might have because they never showed up. They never found the bodies.
But that doesn't mean that they're not
on the bottom of the ocean or in a shark's belly.
Exactly.
But it's a notorious penitentiary for people trying to escape and can't. And it was kind of a solitude thing as well. So I think you did have a lot of inmate death. I think there were guards attacked and all kinds of stuff that went on there that would lead to potential of
evil hanging
around. Now, they do have the tours where you take the boat ride out there. There's the daytime tour where you go around and you check all the place out. That place is rotting. I mean, you can actually go up and kind of pick at the walls and it just crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the salt air has destroyed all the metal bars. And have you ever been there?
No, I've never been there.
Yeah. So, San Francisco is my home away from home. I love going there. I've done the Alcatraz tour thing, but they have the nighttime haunted tour, which I have not yet done. I say every time we go, and I was just in San Francisco a few weeks ago, I always want to go do it. But at the same time, I kind of don't because I don't want to subject myself to the potential of evil.
Yeah.
So I try and stay away from it, but I want to go do it because I'm curious. But they do say that the classic thing there is that there are ghosts in chains that rattle their chains and slam those doors, and that almost everybody that goes there hears it. Supposedly, the most chilling account of Alcatraz is one inmate in D block saw red eyes in his cell, and he screamed all night long, but nobody cared, because it's just a guy screaming in prison.
Yep.
But the next morning they went to his cell and they found him dead, completely alone. And autopsy showed that he had been strangled to death. So some evil entity with red eyes, cryptid demon, strangled this guy to death. Well, according to everybody, you can hear this guy screaming in his cell when you go do some of these nightly tours. So that place is kind of a terrifying place.
You got demons there.
You got demons there, obviously. And then moving on to our last thing, and we're going to conclude with the Warrens.
Yep. The infamous Warrens.
Now, you got to love the Warrens, right? The Conjuring was the original, correct?
Yeah.
So the story...
Love those movies, by the way.
Oh, I know. Yeah. The story of the Conjuring and the Nun and Annabelle and all of the different series of those movies were based on the life of Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were paranormal investigators, and they operated for decades ghost hunting and demon busting. And many of the haunted or little demon-possessed items were placed on display in their very own occult museum in the basement of their home. Now, this is actually portrayed in the movie.
Yep.
Where they go down into the basement and they got all those little things. Well, it's real. Now, I don't know that in the movie was their real home, but the idea is real that they kept all these things in the basement. So, opened in 1952, the Warrens founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. And they had this collection of artifacts that had been touched by evil, and they kept it in their home. When they weren't looking into high-profile cases of demonic mischief, such as the Amityville house.
Yeah.
So they were the investigators that confirmed that all that crap was going on in the Lutz's home, which then they were being accused of false information and that none of this stuff really happened by that doctor who claimed that, oh, this is all the Lutzes are making this stuff up and the Warrens are promoting it. I believe it happened.
I know we say it all the time through every episode. It's just this is why people don't report what they see.
Right.
Because they don't want to get labeled as a nut.
Correct. And what we didn't say in the Amityville section of this podcast is that the murderer, the kid that killed his parents and siblings, actually claimed that he was possessed by a demon, and that's why he murdered everybody. So
there you go.
If there was already a demonic entity in the house that possessed the kid and killed everybody, and then these people move in, who's to say that that demon didn't stay there and was attempting another possession? Who knows?
You don't just have green stuff leaking out of your...
No.
All those things don't take place.
No, exactly. Now, the Warrens were also involved in the exorcism of the witch Bathsheba, which that was the case that the whole movie The Conjuring was based on. According to them, that was a true event. All of their movies were based on true accounts, although Hollywooded for sensationalism. And they went probably a little further than what the reality was.
Of course.
But all of the movies were supposedly based on actual events that they've been involved with. Throughout the cases that the Warrens worked, they collected these little trinkets or totems that they claimed were defiled by evil spirits, and they put them in this museum to keep them safe from the public. The collection actually contains things like vampires' coffins, which we did an episode on vampires.
Yep.
And pretty clear that vampires exist.
Yeah.
They had a child's tombstone that was used as a satanic altar, which, we got Roseanne Barr saying that they're vampires and they eat kids.
There you go.
In Hollywood.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they have an altar that made from a child's tombstone? Death curses, demon masks, psychic photographs line the walls of their little museum. And they also have just, crap like Halloween plastic masks and things of that nature, just for
gift shop stuff.
Yeah. Right. So when you go down in there, you got things to look at. The most prevalent item that was in their museum was the cursed Raggedy Ann doll, Annabelle. Now, Annabelle was the best. To me, I enjoyed the Annabelle series more than the other stuff, although she was pretty much involved with all of it.
Yeah.
I mean, she was always kind of in the show and was the reason of some of the possessions and whatnot. But Annabelle and Return of Annabelle and Annabelle shows up again, or I don't even know how many things there were on Annabelle, but I loved them all.
Yeah.
They were all fun. Now, in the movie, Annabelle's like that porcelain doll, creepy with the rosy cheeks and the white skin, and that's not what she looks like at all. It was literally a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
But they have it sealed away in a glass case. Supposedly it's been blessed. It's locked up. No, and there's a sign on it not to open it, and they've done everything they can to prevent people from releasing this demonic entity. Why they keep it, I don't know. Why it wasn't just burned or
so
whatnot.
I looked up, and the Warrens' thought was if it was destroyed, all it would do was release what was in it.
Okay, well,
So then it's going out and
does
about.
make sense. So now you have a disembodied spirit that's going to go find something else to live in.
Exactly.
So they keep the doll. It's locked up. It's in the museum. It's in a case, and there's like a red light that is behind it, kind of lights it up, so for display, but it makes it even creepier.
Oh, yeah.
But you were telling me before we even went on here that there's also a death associated with her.
I think he was like a paranormal guy of some, like an investigator of some kind, but his name was Dan Rivera. And it was actually, unfortunately, in July of this year, he was taking it and I think some other things like on a tour, like a paranormal tour. Well, during that, he removes it from the case and is handling it. He ends up having it out for a little bit. They put it back, seal the case, and then he cleans his hands up, and then he has like a priest bless him with, I believe, holy water. I don't remember exactly that part, and I can't remember if it was that day or the next day, but he ends up dying of like a massive heart attack. Some people say it was just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Other people say that it's because he handled the Annabelle doll and unfortunately brought evil on himself.
Well, and you got to think that there's something to that.
Right.
It's kind of like when they filmed The Exorcist and fires broke out on the set. People became sick. I think there were some deaths associated with that.
Yeah.
Some of the filming crew. I think when you're doing horrible things and reenacting stuff, demonic possessions, that you're kind of actually glorifying evil.
Mm-hmm.
And I think bad things can happen.
Yeah. I was talking to a guy at work. I haven't watched it, but the new Exorcist movie that has the 2 little girls in it.
Oh, yeah. I won't watch that.
Yeah. And so we were talking about it, and he's one of those like staunch, devout atheists, mocks God and all that stuff. Even he said, I would never let my kids act in something like that. You're just asking for bad things to happen, which is kind of funny because if you don't believe in it, how could you be asking for bad things to happen? But all that aside, but even people who don't believe.
Yeah. Because it's just evil.
It's evil.
It's just
That's evil. Yeah.
Flat out evil. There's no way of getting around it.
I've seen some pictures too where they, people are taking photos of the Annabelle case, and every now and then it could be that thing where you're making something out of nothing. I always forget what it's called, but sometimes people will point out like circle, like, right here you could see a face, but the way they're standing, it's not them and there's no one else in the room.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Could be the entity possessing the doll.
Yeah.
Who knows? Bottom line, Ed and Lorraine both died. Ed passed away back in 2006, Lorraine in 2019, and their home and the museum had been closed. Well, and I don't understand why he did it, but kid's pretty funny. Matt Rife.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. Yeah. He does good. What do they call it? Crowd work, where he talks to people.
Yes.
Yes.
And he's pretty brutal.
Yes.
But people seem to love him. I've watched him a million times. He is funny.
Yeah, he's good.
He's pretty filthy,
and
he just tears people apart.
What I like about him is he's a equal opportunity comedian.
Yeah.
So I've seen one where he's got a guy in a wheelchair who's like borderline a vegetable.
Oh yeah.
And he's just ripping into him, but the guy's laughing, having a great time with it.
Nobody's off limits.
Nobody's safe. If you don't want to be made fun of, don't sit close. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Well, I don't agree with this because I think he's playing with fire.
Right.
But Matt Rife and a guy by the name of Elton Casti, who is like a celebrity ghost hunter kind of guy, they purchased the Warrens' house and a 5-year guardianship over their collection of evil entities. And they plan to reopen it for not only tours, but overnight stays where people can stay in this house of evil and stuff. And to me, I think you're playing with some really evil fire.
Yeah, especially leaving it open for people to stay because someone's not going to follow the rules because I'm assuming
they're going to go down there. They're going to open up the Annabelle doll.
Taking pictures with it, being idiots, doing idiot things.
And Lord knows what they could release.
Yeah.
So I don't think he should do it unless it's a publicity stunt or something on his part.
Yeah.
Give him a little more.
I could see opening the museum up and have it monitored. You can't touch stuff. You can come in and take pictures. Yeah. There's a gift shop. Get the T-shirt on your way out the door. Have a good day.
Yeah. But not, you can stay overnight.
Right. think about when people get an Airbnb, how bad they treat those. I know people are frying up bacon and dumping the grease right down the drain. And
right. Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. Now, if you have haunted stuff downstairs, you're going to go down and play with stuff you shouldn't play with.
Yeah.
It's just plain and simple.
No, somebody will try and steal Annabelle.
Yep.
Something bad's going to happen.
Exactly.
You already know it.
Yeah.
But anyway, there you go. So those are some of the scariest places on Earth. I think that if you really looked into it, you'd find much scarier. There's a lot of places outside the U.S. in other countries that they say are extremely haunted and horrifying places to go to.
Torture chambers and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, of course.
And there's all kinds of stuff out there. So this is certainly not an expanded list of places. These are just
some fun ones.
Fun ones that we like, that most of them are, close to home kind of thing. And if you wanted to go visit these and see if that you can get some kind of horrifying experience, I don't know why you'd want to do that. But it'll give you an idea of where you can start to go hear some chains rattling and some ghostly things and doors slamming and maybe walk away possessed.
Yeah. Or get your skin melted off by venomous snakes, whatever you want.
Whatever you want, So, yeah, a little late for the Halloween story, but nonetheless, that's what we said we were going to do. So we did it.
Yep.
And there are the creepy and haunted places. Got anything else, Jake?
No, I don't think so. I think, like you said, there's a million of them.
There's a million of them and a lot of places to go. And if there's one that you think should have been showcased, send us an email. Let us know. We'll look into it.
Or if you've had experiences in the place we talked about, let us know.
Right. Lots of fun, and yet not, because if it is real and it is evil, then man, you're playing with your eternal soul.
Not a good idea.
I don't want to be possessed, but you know what? There's scary places to go, and I guess you can do it if it's all in fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think in a couple of weeks we're going to be talking about another creepy little monster called the Lakeworth Monster.
I think it also goes by Greer Island Goat Man, I think is the other name, but it's more known by this.
And you got to love Goat Man.
Love Goat Man.
I'm telling you, the Goat Man was one of my favorite episodes as far as the lore of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And just picturing that thing up there with his axe up on that
chasing people off.
Trestle, chasing people to their death. I think it's awesome.
I picture that like half human, half goat scream too as it's chasing you.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I've seen a bunch of trail cam pics recently of goat men that they've caught. Have you seen those? They have to be artificial intelligence.
The AI stuff. Yeah. See, that's another thing I don't like about the AI.
Yeah. No, it's ruined our world.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what's real, what's not anymore.
The other one that they've been putting out is like the Griffin.
Oh, I saw that. I saw it just today.
Yeah.
This morning. I don't know why I think I was looking at our Facebook page.
But
and that Griffin came up as it's walking.
Yeah.
Walking along.
This stuff's getting so good, you're not going to know anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anyway, that's it for today. So tune in 2 weeks for the Lakeworth Monster and located in Texas. And until then.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed the show and you want to help us out, then go ahead and give us a follow, leave us a review, and don't forget to turn on the automatic download button so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And as always, if you've had any experiences, stories, thoughts, comments, or questions, we'd love to hear from you. Send us an email to cryptidfanatic@gmail.com. Let us know if you'd like to be on the show or just have your story featured during one of our episodes.